Hey everybody, I'm Ebony. This is Ebony's Creativity. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Today what I'll be doing is giving you my top 7 thrift store tips. Now, me and the thrift store have come a long way. My mom is big into thrifting. Her mom was a big thrifter. They love thrifting on my maternal side. My mom used to take me as our girl time on the weekends because my other siblings wouldn't go. And I used to hate it. I mean, I would stand there like, Mom, why are you flipping through all this used stuff that people have already worn and owned and blah, blah, blah. Feeling myself like I was too bougie to get something. But now you can't keep me out. I'm in the thrift store at least twice a week. I love to thrift. Probably because I'm spending my own money now. That will make a difference definitely. But anyway, so I want to share with you my top 7 tips. Like I said, I thrift a lot and I've learned quite a few things. So now I want to share what I know with you. So I prepared a list of 7 things. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. The first tip that I have for you is to keep in mind that the things are used. They might be dirty. They might need cleaning up. You may not want to put it in your car in its current state. I would keep towels or blankets or something that you can protect the interior of your car, because some of that stuff is dirty, especially some of the furniture items. On the bottom they'll be dirty, even places you can't even see, and you don't want all that dirt in your car. So bring something to protect your car seats, and bring clothing that you don't mind if it gets a little bit dirty in case you brush up against something. All the items are used, well, not all, but most of the items will be used, dirty. You know, you'll have to do some cleanup before you can use it in your space, or before you can wear it if it's a clothing item. So that's my first tip. Just keep in mind that things are used. You don't want to be getting, well, for me personally, I don't want to get anything that's too personal. I wouldn't buy any undergarments from there or anything like that. Now that's just too close for comfort for me personally, but hey, if you want to, do you, boo. But yeah, just make sure you keep in mind that the things are dirty. You don't want to bring them in your house and start using them right away. Keep in mind, I know that most thrift stores, they'll sanitize the items, but you do want to keep in mind any critters. You know, some people don't mind living with the critters. Me, I don't want to bring them into my house. So just make sure that you keep in mind that things may be dirty. They may require wiping even before you get them home if you want to put it in your car. Bring hand sanitizer, bring some Lysol wipes. Make sure you have a couple items that you can just wipe off. I normally keep some beach towels in my trunk because I live in a beach town. So I use the beach towels if I'm in a pinch. I have a big comforter blanket that I will wrap things in if they're fragile or dirty. If I buy furniture pieces, I'll wrap them or protect, you know, the seat area or the back of my truck bed with the blankets, comforter, sheets, any old stuff like that. I don't throw away. Like, you know, when you have sheets and they get kind of ratty and bally, I don't throw those away. I use those either as drop cloths, or for my thrift store items, I'll just keep them in my trunk. So that's my first tip. Keep in mind that the things are used and may be dirty. Treat them like they're dirty. Don't go just plopping something in your house or on your body that came from there. Make sure you keep cleanliness, you know, at high priority. Tip number 2, if you're unsure if something is a good deal, you can Google it. I showed you guys a purse in one of my thrift store hauls, and I'll link it above in the iCard. But that purse was, you know, selling for a considerable amount of money. I paid just a couple of dollars for it. I did not know the brand. But when I found it in there, it looked like it was good quality. It looked like it was really good leather. So I just whipped out my phone and Googled it, and I saw that that same bag, or a very similar one, was being sold on Poshmark for, you know, a decent amount of money. I think I paid $3 or $4, and it was being sold on Poshmark for, I think I saw one for like closer to $100. So keep in mind that, you know, some of those things are valuable. Some people don't know what they have. Some people don't care about throwing away expensive items. So make sure you keep that in mind. Have your phone handy and you can Google things if you're not sure if they're good quality or if they're valuable or not. Tip number 3, look at shapes, not colors, and think outside the box. What I mean by that is you may see something that you love, but it could just be in the wrong color. I look for the shape of things. I look for unique things that catch my eye. Not if my home decor is teal, it doesn't have to be teal because we have paint. We can paint stuff. If you like the shape of a chair or piece of furniture, you can reupholster it. You don't have to be stuck with that fabric or that color. So what I do is I always just pick up things that call out to me, regardless of the color, the pattern, whatever, because those are things that you can change. I reupholstered some chairs, which I did put in my DIY tour video. I'll also put that in the card so you can click on that. And I remade those chairs and I think they look great. I love those chairs. I use them in my decor every day. So they're a functional item. I paid $10 for 4 chairs, and you know, I reupholstered it with a curtain. I mean, get creative. I also made a headboard out of a curtain from a thrift store. So I like the curtain. I like the fabric. I didn't look at it for what it was. I thought outside of the box. I like this fabric. What else do I use fabrics on? I'm gonna need a fabric when I do my upholstered headboard. Okay. Now I bought that curtain, and you know, I use curtains to reupholster things all the time. They're very durable fabrics, and curtains are expensive. So when I see nice curtains, nice fabrics, nice shapes, anything that I can change, I consider that. So yeah, you should do that too. Definitely just look for things that are appealing to your eye. Even if they don't match the motif or the color or the patterns that you're currently displaying, you can change things. You can change fabrics, you can change the color, but you may not necessarily be able to find anything with that unique shape anymore. So make sure you keep that in mind. Look at shapes, not color, not pattern, not fabric, not how it is in its current state. You kind of have to use your imagination when you're thrifting, because you never know what you're going to find. And you don't have to use things for its intended purpose. Like me, I use curtains to reupholster. Of course, that's not the intended purpose of a curtain, but who's gonna know? So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4 is save your coins. Know your stores. In my area, there are a lot of thrift stores in my immediate, like, you know, right by my house. There are a ton of thrift stores, and they all have their different sale days where things are less expensive, deals, coupons, whatever. At one of the stores nearby, if you check in on Facebook, they'll give you a discount. But they don't tell you that. Like, that's just on a little paper next to the register. So ask them, what kind of specials do you do? You know, how can I get a discount? And most of the time, the cashiers, they know all the discounts. They know what's available. They'll have signs even on the doors. At a lot of the thrift stores that I go to, I always see a sign. If you go in Goodwill, they have a color of the week where, you know, it's clearly, there's a clear sign right when you walk in, and it tells you what color is going for 50% off. There are also stores that do military discounts, student discounts, senior discounts. So you can find, you know, good sales and just go on that day. Because if you're anything like me, if you know that if you wait till tomorrow you can save money, you're gonna be inclined to leave it there. And that brings me to my next step, number 5. When you see what you want in there, get it. People will follow you in the thrift store to see what you're expressing interest in, and they will pick it up just because they know you're interested in it. When you go in the thrift store, get you a cart. This happened to me just last weekend. I was walking around in a thrift store. I just went in, not really expecting to get much. I had one particular item that I was looking for. Didn't really think I was going to find it. Looked to see if there was a cart, but there weren't any at that time. So I went on ahead around the store, and I stood and stared at an item too long. A lady walked. She kept kind of circling, and I'm like looking at her like, girl, what do you want? You know? I mean, they will circle you just to see what you're interested in. because some people don't really know how to thrift shop, and if you look like you know what you're doing, especially, they'll be inclined to kind of follow you while trying to be unassuming. So make sure that you go in and get a cart, because if you don't, you will be in the situation I was in last week when I saw what I wanted. I went in not thinking I would, but I ended up finding exactly what I wanted, but the item was too big for me to carry around. I went back to the front of the store to go and get a cart. The lady picked the item up and took off. As soon as I got out of her line of sight, she was gone. So she could go get my item. And what can I do about it? Nothing. So make sure that you pick up things even while you're in the store. If you see something that interests you, pick it up, because people be lurking, and you need to be able to get your items that you like, or at least rule it out, you know, away from the lurkers. People be lurking in the thrift store. So if you see something you want, pick it up. If you see something that you think you might want to buy, if you're about 80% sure, I would say just buy it. That's why I say go on the day where there's a deal, because if you can get a better deal on it, even if it's something that you're not 100% sold on, you may be more inclined to buy it, and then you won't have remorse when you get home and you're like, shoot, I should have bought that, and you try to go back and get it and it's gone. The thrift stores get new things every day, so you don't want to leave something there, because people are constantly, their turnover rate, you know, for their items is really high. People are constantly in the thrift store every day getting things, and you don't want one of the things that you had your eye on to be gone. You don't want to this is not the place or the time where you ponder and think about it. You do that while you're in the store. I've learned not to leave the store without the things that I want. That's why I go on the day where I know I can get the best deal on it, because otherwise, if I leave it there thinking I can get it cheaper tomorrow, 9 times out of 10 when you go back, it's gone. So unless you hide the item. That's another hide the item, girl. Look, me in one particular store that I go to, I will hide items. They drop their prices weekly, and if I go in there on a Sunday and I don't want to spend what it is, I will hide it. But you have to pick a really good place to hide it, because people be lurking, like I said. The thrift store lurker. If you're a true thrifter, you have run into a lurker. I'm gonna just go on to the next tip, because I could talk about thrift store lurkers all day. Why is you following me, girl? Like, you go that way. Go that way. I'm trying to get these items. They're so annoying. But yeah, when you see something, even while you're shopping, put it in your cart. And make sure you get a cart from the time you walk in. That way you won't get caught slipping. I got caught slipping, but that's okay, because I won't get caught again. Next time I'm going to follow my own rule and have my cart ready. Even if I don't expect or think I'm going to find anything, I'm going to be ready. So make sure you don't get caught slipping. Alright, so step number 6 is, if you are looking at something that is electric, make sure that it works while you're in the store, because most of these stores have a 0 refund, 0 exchange policy. And if they do, it's only a few days. I have seen some stores that will let you do returns, but they only give you a few days, and ain't nobody got time to be trying to hurry up and get back. Like, just make sure that it works while you're in the store, if you're not willing to take a loss. So if I see a lamp that's $2 and I don't really feel like going to find a bulb, going to find a plug, or to try it out, I may just put it in the cart and get it and take my chance. If I get home and it doesn't work, it was just $2, whatever. But you know, with more expensive items, you may not want to take that risk. So most of the stores, they do have outlets. Some of them act funny about letting you test things. Some of them actually have locks over their outlets. So, but they will, the ones that I have been to that lock up their outlets, they will let you still test things, but you just have to go and ask an associate. I guess it's a liability to have customers plugging in things. I don't know. But yeah, just make sure you test things while you're in the store. because you don't want to get stuck with something that doesn't work, especially if you spent, you know, considerable amount of money on it. So test things out in the store. Tip number 7 is very important. Tip number 7 is patience and comfort. For one thing, make sure you do not take a non-thrifter with you. They will complain, they will be ready to go, they will ruin your thrifting day. And you don't want that because you're trying to get the deals and you want to spend your coins. You do not want to go thrifting with a non-thrifter or with somebody who does not know what thrifting entails. Go by yourself. It's much more peaceful. If you can't find somebody that's patient, that's going to allow you to plunder through 1,000 articles of clothing, just go by yourself. They will irritate you. You will irritate them. Thrifting can be time consuming, and you do not want to miss a deal, and you do not want anybody rushing you when you get in your groove. Like, you're not ready to go. I'm not ready to go. So if you're ready to go, sayonara. I'm trying to stay here and get the deals, okay? I need to plunder through all this stuff and figure out what I'm going to take home. I cannot be rushing just because you are ready to go, girl. So no ma'am, we're not leaving. If you do go with a non-thrifter, encourage them to drive separately just in case they get annoyed and they're ready to go and you're not ready to go. But I would just say go by yourself. It's a great way to kill time. You're not spending as much money as you would if you went to the mall. You're getting unique items that may not even be sold nowadays. You never know what you're going to find, but you have to spend the time that it takes to look through to figure it out. So don't take a non-thrift shopper with you. Do not do it. It requires patience to go through everything and to make sure that you're leaving the store with exactly what it is that you want. So just don't take them with you. It's not worth it. Go by yourself if you need to. And the comfort aspect, make sure you wear clothing that is easy to get in and out of if you are, especially if you're clothes shopping. Like I said before, make sure you wear clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, and have comfortable shoes, because you do not want to be walking around in the thrift store and your feet start hurting and you got to rush off because your feet hurt. Because when your dogs start barking, like, it's time to go. So you don't want to be in that position. Wear comfortable shoes, comfortable clothes, and make sure that you have either another hardcore thrifter with you or somebody that is patient. Because if a non-thrifter will ruin your time, make you mad because you're missing out on the deals, and you got to drive this food home because they're impatient and they're ready to go. They're messing up your whole thrift day. So don't be in that position. If they're not a thrifter, encourage them to drive separately. You make sure you're comfortable so that way you can, be good while you're searching for the deals and saving your coins and getting unique items from the thrift store. So yes, that's all 7 of my tips. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if there's anything that I have missed, any tips that you want to share, any things that you've noticed while shopping in the thrift store. Engage with me. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoy your thrifting adventures, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.